Hi there! Welcome to the Gardens and Graveyards channel. My name is Charisma and today we're meeting in the studio, and this is a slightly different angle than you normally see me in. I'm either usually behind that table there or sitting on this couch. But today we're going to rearrange all of my plants that are in the studio. You can see I have a whole bunch of plants right here, and I have 3 windows. Let's just turn this way. I have 3 windows right here that are east facing windows, and believe it or not, that is the most light that we get in our house because our west facing windows have an overhang from our porch, and our south facing windows have a bunch of pines and birch trees that shade that side of our house. And that's done on purpose because you want to keep your home cool in the summertime, so that gets really shady when all the birch trees are all leafed out. And that's actually, the south garden is actually our shade garden in our property. So I do have a window right here, but because it's so shady, really just diffused white light comes through it, and our neighbor is right on the other side, so I don't love having full exposure to the neighbor. And I'm actually going to be changing out my window treatments here pretty soon in this window, and you probably saw me do the plant rearranging in my dining room, which is actually the room adjacent to this on the same side of the house. And in that window I have lace curtains, and it's great for light, and my plants do really well in that window, so I would like to have this window more available for plants, but I just need the right window treatments. And what I've decided I'm going to do is I'm actually going to get that peel and stick. It's like a film that goes on your windows that's completely, it's all opaque. You could get a bunch of different kinds, like lattice or lacy, or I don't know, there's like scrolls and all kinds of fun things. I'm just gonna get a plain opaque one. It actually diffuses the light really well and makes it like amplifies the light, and it's completely blocks any like visual. You can't see out and you can't see in, which is perfect because I really don't want to look at my neighbors, and I definitely don't want my neighbors looking at me. But until then, I really want to get this side of the room all organized and situated for spring. We are so close to spending the next 5 months outside, and I just want to get one really good, sweep through all of the houseplants and make sure they have some tender loving care before it's just like hands off. You get a little fertilizer once a month, and I don't even really look at you until like October. That's how it happens in my house anyways. And I've gone through the living room, I've gone through the kitchen, and now it's time to do the studio. And those are the 3 rooms that I have the most concentrated amount of plants in. And I have like 1 or 2 plants in all the other rooms, which, that's not really going to change, so I'm not worried about it. I'm just make sure they look good and leave it alone. So I want to make room for more plants, and I want to just zhuzh the space up a little bit. And remember, I used a bunch of plant clips, these guys, in my dining room. If you missed that, take a look below and search. You'll find all of my plant rearranging videos that I've recently done. This is the last one. But I really like these, so I'm actually gonna use these around one of my windows and get a vine going around it because I just love the look. It's kind of fun. It's very, old school, I think. A lot of times you see that and you think of like the 70s and pictures of houseplants back then, but it's speaking to me right now, so maybe it's like coming back in vogue. And obviously these adorable plant clips are helping make it so. So let's just get started. What I'm gonna do is I'm just going to pull all the plants from their spaces, put them on this table and like on this side of the room, and then start putting all the plants back up here. I do have a few, like a little collection of plants down over here, and they might change. They might change which ones. I know for sure my fern is going away because I'm going to use it in a new project. Trying to think. Actually, you'll probably see that project before you see this video go out. So anyway, let's just get to it, and yeah, it's gonna be fun. I hope you enjoy these kind of videos. I know sometimes it's kind of silly to just watch somebody organize their space, but it's also sometimes really inspirational. I find it inspirational when I watch other people organize their space, even if I don't do it the way that they did theirs, or even in a space that they did theirs. It's like, yes, let's do it. Let's go clean something. So that's what I'm doing today. start putting these little plant clips on this window. Again, it's just like a command strip thing, but you stick one side on the back and then you peel off the backing, which is seriously the hardest part. And then you pinch the top of this and it pops open like this. And then you can just stick them on the wall and begin putting these in there. These stems are so small that I'm going to gather just a little handful of them, stick them all in together. Maybe like that many. That is that. I just moved some plants around. I was able to get rid of some small plants and combine them, or just move them out of here, or they were failing, so I just trashed them. I do have one plant that desperately wants to be transplanted, so she'll get transplanted into some new soil, and I already have her pot down here, and then everything else is just kind of moved around so they have a little bit more airflow and a little more you know, opportunity to show off in a different way. So let me show you what I did. Unfortunately, my camera shut off when I was moving things around over here, but basically, I moved this Monstera from that corner up here, and it's got a lot more room now. And I moved this Swiss cheese plant that was on the floor up closer to the light along with the jade plant. I moved my sansevieria from over here to over there and added a couple. There's a peperomia in the back there and a begonia up here and African violet up front. And then I have a Maranta prayer plant there on my chair. That little square there, that's where I keep my coffee. It's where I hang out in the morning and drink my coffee. And then over here in this window, I moved this purple Triscanthia was over here, and I moved it over here, and it can trail down this filing cabinet. And then I trained these plants up and left some on the windowsill. Hopefully, eventually, I will get a full frame. That's the goal. I just like to see how that plays out. And then over here on my project table, I have 2 ferns, and they're going to get cleaned up and put into another project, which you will probably have already seen. I'll link it down below if I post it before I post this video. And then down here, a little collection of like my black and white pots. So I've got the bird's nest fern on top. I've got another sansevieria over in the back. I've got our little succulent dress that we recently did. And then I've got this guy that I think it's like an arrow. Let's see. I never remember what these are called. So holly arrowhead plant over here, and I will transplant her. Anyway, wasn't a huge overhaul because I just recently put this studio together, arranged it this way. So I do have like some refuse of pots and planting material that I'm getting rid of from this project that I cleared off, and they're just kind of in a little pile over there. I will clean them up and put them away or throw away what needs to be thrown away, but it feels really good to just kind of have a clean perspective. I have hooks still available for plants, which is amazing. I think actually the project that the ferns are going in will be one of those hooks, I think. But yeah, I feel like I have more floor space and a little bit of extra room. Nothing's sitting on my windowsills except for in that windowsill there. So I can open up my windows as the summer comes, and that feels pretty good. I have nothing on the top of this, or I have no plants on the top of my hutch here. So that's more opportunities for more plants to get placed. I guess it means I need to go shopping now. So you just want something slightly larger. So see, the roots were definitely ready to have a little more room to grow. Just gonna take off any of these dead leaves. Okay, and that will just go in there. I will stage it with moss in a couple of weeks when I pick up my moss. Taking a little trip to Portland, and I will get more moss for my plants. This guy's ready to come out too. You can see all of its little pups. They like to be root bound, so I'm not going to disturb their roots. Just going to put it right here where the soil level is the same. Okay, so you see the difference in the size that I traded it up for? That's about right. And then it still should fit inside of here without a problem. And put moss all around. Fresh moss too. That's all right. All right, and then there it is. Now it's all done. So thanks for hanging out with me while I rearrange some more plants in the studio, and I hope that it was inspiring and you're getting a kick out of watching me rearrange my plants. Soon we'll be out in the garden and I cannot wait. Today was a pretty nice day. It was pretty windy and very cold, but it's dry enough that I'll be able to get outside in the next couple of days. We're supposed to have dry weather for the next 3 days. So I'm hoping that it dried out enough today, especially with the wind, that tomorrow and the next couple of days will be really fun to be outside. I'm so ready for it, and I'm sure that you are too. Until the next time, keep celebrating your life, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.